So, today I'm going to talk about Évora. And Évora is a Portuguese city that's located in Alentejo. And it's a very interesting city, I must say. And I would like to fix this if possible. No, no. Okay. I'd like to fix this by showing you the map, which I currently am not being able to do. Why? I don't know why. Move on top. So, Évora. Évora is located here in Portugal, right in the middle, in Alentejo. And it's a very old city from the Roman times, way before Roman times, in fact. And it's close to Lisbon, midway from Badajoz to Lisbon. You could also go from Madrid to Évora by car if you're getting to Lisbon. You can see Évora in a day, and you can also, if you stay more than a day, you can visit some of the cities around that are very, very interesting. For example, Montemoro Novo, Arraiolos, Évora-Monte, Estremoz, Elvas, Badajoz, and even Beja, Rinhos Monsaraz, etc. This is Alqueva. It's a very interesting region. It has the largest artificial lake in Europe. It has a dam over here, the Barragem de Alqueva, which is a very, very interesting place. It took many years to build, and it's now completed, and it offers some interesting views of the valley, and you can even take the boat around if you like to. Over here there's a small coffee with a marina. It's a very interesting place. A bit expensive though. You can also rent an house and stay for vacation in a floating house. You can take a tour around the small villages around here. Interestingly enough, there's a small city or small town that had to be completely rebuilt, because when the barrage was built, the dam was built, the town was underwater technically, so they had to relocate everyone to a new town. Also, there are many castles around this area, since they were used to protect from the Spanish and from the Moors, as the reconquest was progressing from the north to the south towards Algarve. But about Évora. So, it's located here about 110 kilometers from Lisbon, an hour by bus, 8 euros, Red Express, something like that. You can go by car and just take the highway. It's really, really fast. Or the train. There's a direct train too. Évora. One of the most interesting things in Évora is located between Évora and Montemoro Novo, near the town of Nossa Senhora de Guadalupe. And it's one of the most ancient monuments in Portugal and in Europe. In fact, it's considered to be more important than Stone Age. And this group of rocks, it's a Neolithic monument that dates around the time of Stone Age and serves the same purpose of the Stone Age: rituals and stargazing. And it's accessible by car, and you can spend a few hours there. I once found a small lady resting upon this rock. I don't know why she was doing that. But you can also do that if you want to. Okay. Some people do picnics there too, but there's a warning sign, so avoid that. There's also the Menhir of Almendros. These are the megalithic place of Almendros, and this is the Menhir. The Menhir is just a rock. It's also interesting if you like to see very old things. And this area is very well preserved. Now, if you stay in Évora, do stay here. It offers great meals, and it's quite a nice place. I stayed there twice. The station is over here, and the town center is encircled by a wall, and it's a very well preserved wall, and you can run around if you have time and if you are interested in sports. Near the wall there's an aqueduct that recently they found a Roman aqueduct below this aqueduct that it serves the city. It's great to take photos if you are into that kind of things. You can also run and follow his path. If you go by car, you can park here, it's free and very close to the city. The city itself, it has a lot of things to do, but it's very compact, so I would say that the main spot that you arrive from all entrances from the city is Praça of Giraldo, which is the city square. It has the cathedral, it has this fountain, it's a very important monument. It has these arcades with very interesting buildings and stores and some restaurants. That's the tourist host. And during the summer it can reach up to 45 degrees Celsius. So these arcades are your best friends. You see this esplanade? No, you can't be here because it's freaking out. Just after you visit this interesting square, and I advise you to visit this restaurant, Café Alentejo. It has some nice food at good prices. You also have the Museum of Relógio, watch museum, to take a coffee, and I also advise you to visit Inside Gourmet, which has interesting cakes and a cookie cake. They say it's the best cake in the world. I have to disagree, but it's very tasty. If you arrive by bus, you arrive here, near the cemetery. Just follow the signs to the city center. Now, where was I? Oh, right. You are at the square, you have those options to eat, and then you can go down, and you arrive at the market. It has many restaurants over here, and ice cream, regional stuff. and you have three things. You have the Igreja of San Francisco, which I'll talk about later in another video, but mostly the interiors are simple. Due to French invasions, they just took all the gold, and so the walls are very simple. I guess that's the story. It happened all around Portugal. So. And one of the main attractions of Évora that you probably heard about is the Chapel of Bones, Capela dos Ossos. The entrance is in the same spot as Capella of San Francisco, and you guessed it, or you might not have guessed it, I don't know. But the chapel is really made of bones. These are not sculptures, these are real human skulls with human bones, femurs, and so on. Literally every head you see here is a dead person. And there is a lot of heads. You can take photo if you pay, I think, €1 more. Thanks a lot to Clement Selma for making available this picture on Google Maps, so people like me and you can virtually visit. I really enjoyed this chapel, not because it's creepy or sort of, but they have a very profound message written when you enter the chapel. Where is the message? Something like, here it is. Come on. Ok. Nós ossos que aqui estamos, pelos vossos esperamos. Something like, how can I say? Are we the bones that are here for your bones await? So, you are going to die too. It's a very interesting message, and I don't know, I just like it. Now, you visit this place and you take a coffee around there, then you go to the Jardim Público, the public garden. That has an interesting Palace of Dom Manuel, which is in the same style that the Convento de Tomar was built. It has an interesting maritime theme from Descobrimentos. I think they have some temporary expositions inside, but the structure itself is very beautiful, seen from the park. And the park is just a very typical Portuguese park, with the Coreto and all those things that I find normal in Portugal, but you might find interesting. Then you go back up. I'm sorry, it's a very hilly city, and you can take a coffee at Café Estrela d'Or, which is a nice place, not the cleanest place on earth, but they really serve good coffee. Or you can take one of the most famous ice creams on town, the Zoca ice cream. Some people don't seem to like these ice creams. I've always enjoyed this. I ate one almost every day for an entire year, so you can try and then say no, Daniel, that's awful, and say sorry. Oh, this church that's in Geraldo Square, normally it's closed, and the interior is not that special, so the facade is beautiful. but the rest is not. I forgot to tell you. You go up, you take the coffee, go back to the square, and then you have an interesting thing over here. Remember though that aqueduct that I talked about? Well, this structure here is thought to be a Roman structure from the ancient aqueducts, and that's what it's left of it. It's the water box, and it's right on the square. You can actually see the aqueduct in some places crossing the square or the streets. So, embedded in the walls of the houses. So it's great for photography. I know I'm being very boring, but you can also have a nice gin over here, and some fresh drinks at Cubetua, and the prices are very reasonable. And one of the best restaurants in Évora, it's Fialho. The owner is amazing. They have an amazing team with amazing food. A bit expensive though, but one of the best experiences you can have in Alentejo in terms of gastronomy at a reasonable price. So, you go back up, and in the street you have many restaurants, you have many stores that sell cork made stuff, handbags, stuff like that. Many memorabilia. Just don't buy a Barcelos cock here, please. Just buy one if you go to Barcelos. There's no need to buy that. Don't. So you arrive here, you have the Fórum Eugenio de Almeida. Sometimes it's free. It depends on the times. I'm going to talk about that later. It has temporary modern art. You have the Museum of Évora, which has some great collections of Neolithic things up to modern things with a lot of church related artifacts. And right next to the museum you have the Cathedral of Évora, which has some, I think it's the best spot to take pictures of the city and around the city. You have to pay to go up. I don't think it's very expensive. I think it's about €3 per person, and you have discounts if you are an elder. And the clausters are very beautiful, and it has some interesting sideways and interesting things. I don't know if they took a photo about it. I'm going to show it later. But there is a sculpture in the wall of this wall over here that is the symbol of Évora. About that symbol, it's really racist. It's probably the most racist symbol I can think of. It's a knight behaving to Moors. It's horrible. Really bad. Right here you have the Temple of Évora and of Diana, and as you can guess, it's a Roman temple that was repurposed to be a butchery, somewhere where they shop the animals. And then later they recovered what was left, and they found that it was a temple for the Roman goddess Diana. And most of the pictures you see of Évora is around this area. Near that place, near here you have a small garden with some interesting sculptures and another great view of this area. I'm going to show you. Yes, they took the photo, and it's a very interesting view. just very typical of Alentejo. Here, you have the Pousada dos Loios. It's a great place to stay. It's an amazing hotel. I can't even describe how good it is. And if you want to have a different experience. So right now I am really far away. Jesus, it's not ever. That's not even Alentejo. So back to Évora, near the Jardim Diana, you have the Igreja de São João Evangelista, which is a church dedicated to the House of Melos, Pereira de Melo, which is a very influent family in Évora. You can see the family symbol everywhere, and it has an old house, completely refurbished, the Palácio Duques de Carvalho, with armors, ancient things, portraits, coches, and it really, the price I think it's €3, and it's very good indeed. Now, it's almost a day. Almost a day has passed, and if you still have time left, you can go to Vinho Nós to eat some very typical stuff with good typical wine, and you can visit some of the cities that are around Évora. You can go to Évora, just stop at the mountain that has a very interesting and well preserved castle, the Évora Castle, and it's a modern structure that you can visit, and you can go above and see the views of Alentejo, which is amazing. The city itself, it's also interesting. You can go, and I'm not going to extend a lot, but you can go to Arraiolos, where you can see a type of castle that's not very usual in Portugal, which is a round castle with a church in the middle. And that's what's interesting about it, the fact that it's round. It's a round castle. And it has also very interesting views of the Alentejo, and you can see why the castle was built on top of the hill. And near Évora you have Montemor Novo. It's actually a bus stop before Évora if you come from Lisbon. And it also has a castle on top of the hill. And the castle has some very interesting information about previous occupations of Moors. This was actually a Moor city, and where they had the soldiers. And the castle of Montemor Novo offers some interesting views, and the fact that the castle was completely destroyed, it is an amazing spot to take amazing pictures. So you can say, look, this is Portugal. Portugal is incredibly beautiful, and it is. So I'm at 25 minutes now. Sorry, and I just want to say two more things. You can go to Reguengos de Monsaraz, and Reguengos de Monsaraz has this interesting church and a castle. And you can go to not Milano, not Kiev. Where was it? Ah, Montserrat's castle, and this is one of the most beautiful castles in Portugal, with a city within, and you can see the views from Alqueva. It's very close from Évora, and it's an amazing place. So that's it for the part 1 of Évora. Later I'm going to talk about its history and gastronomy, and then I'm going to talk about specific monuments in another channel. And that's it for all. To arrive, it's simple. You go to Lisbon and you take the train or the bus. It's really cheap, and if you rent a car, it's really fast. If you wish to stay and experience Alentejo, every is the ideal place. Everything is around 1 hour. You also have the city of Estremoz that I'll talk later. That has also an interesting castle. And the city of Elvas, which is Humanities Patrimonial, World Heritage, UNESCO. That is a city fortress with an incredible fortified aqueduct and an incredible fortified structure in a star-shaped structure, as you can see over here. The city itself has some other interesting monuments, but the star is the fortress, which is also a very interesting thing to visit. And if you want to experience a bit of Badajoz in Spain, it's right across the border, 10 minutes. And you have shopping, you have aqua park, and you have the incredible city of Badajoz with interesting monuments, although it's not very. It's just a pit stop for many people, but I think it serves a lot more than that. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!